I'm joined in the studio by Mary Still. She's running for state representative with Missouri's 25th district. I wanted to start first by talking a little bit about you. Tell me where you're from, your day job, where you grew up, your family.
Great. I'm a native of Arkansas, a small town in southern Arkansas. I came to Columbia to go to the University of Missouri School of Journalism. After that, I worked for several newspapers and returned to Columbia when I married my husband, Russ Still. And Russ is an attorney in town. He's formerly been 9 years on the Columbia School Board. We have two daughters, Allison and Susanna, and they both went through Columbia Public Schools, Benton Elementary, Jeff Jr., Hickman High School, and now they are both starting their careers. My oldest daughter, Allison, is teaching in Philadelphia and going to the University of Pennsylvania to get a graduate degree. And my youngest daughter, Susanna, is now working on a graduate degree in urban planning at NYU and works part-time there for an urban planning firm.
What experience do you have that helps prepare you to represent the 25th district?
Well, the wonderful thing about the 25th district is it is the district that represents the University of Missouri and downtown Columbia and most of the neighborhoods to the east. I worked 8 years as the spokesperson for the University of Missouri, so I understand the significance of having a major research university in Columbia and how important that is to the economy of our state. And I've said all along that what is good for MU is good for the economy of the state of Missouri, and that is one of our important challenges, is to help the legislature understand that. I also worked 12 years for the Attorney General, Jay Nixon, and 2 years in the governor's office. And in the Attorney General's office in particular, you learn all of the most controversial and biggest issues of the state land right on the Attorney General's desk. My job was Director of Communications and Policy. So I learned a lot about the issues that we're going to be facing over the next few years in this state. I feel like I have a very good background, excellent experience. I know the issues, and I know the people of Columbia, having lived here for 25 years.
I want to get into some of the issues now regarding this campaign. You've mentioned education, you mentioned the economy a little bit. What is the most important issue facing the 25th district?
Well, of course, when you talk about the economy, we're all faced with that right now. It's an immediate challenge, but we must have the political will to recognize that to benefit the economy, you've got to have an educated and healthy workforce. So we have to make certain that we prepare that, keep that solid, especially Columbia Public Schools. That is one of the biggest economic drivers and economic development tools for the state, or for the city. We are in the business of recruiting professionals to this community. We recruit professors, we recruit doctors, we recruit insurance executives, and those people want to know what our public schools are like. And if they're not solid, they're going somewhere else. So we must remember that our public schools drive our economy in Columbia. And then, of course, the University of Missouri, major force in our economy. We talked a little bit about health care. And in Columbia, we have several major medical facilities. Now, Governor Blunt had major cuts on Medicaid. And that hurt. Not only was it the wrong thing to do, but that was extremely hurtful to the economy here in Columbia because of our major medical facilities. When you cut Medicaid, you're also cutting the federal matching grants. So we lost close to $1 billion in this state of federal money. This is money that could have come here. It went to other states. I think that was a very short-sighted move. We've already seen layoffs at local hospitals attributed to the cuts in Medicaid. I want to change that.
All right, let's turn back to the education. And you mentioned public schools driving the economy. So how do you plan on improving the public school system in this district?
Well, I will be voting for a formula that will help Columbia, and you're not going to ever find me voting for a formula that hurts our district. Now, I'm proposing, and I'm looking at ways and my point is, if our state, if we're not ready and we don't have the political will to make the pie bigger, then we've got to look at a way to cut the pie differently. And I'm looking at some options about commercial real estate tax. Right now, commercial real estate tax goes to individual school districts. So you get a district like Ladue, where the world headquarters of Monsanto is right there. They get the entire benefit, commercial real estate tax, going to that school district with 3,300 students. Columbia has 7,500 students. And I propose that we reevaluate if we are doing this correctly for a modern day society. Farmers all over the state and people all over the state use Monsanto products. There's no reason that would go right there to one little school district. We're looking at Callaway County and the nuclear plant there. And the facility, the South Callaway County schools, get all the benefit of the commercial real estate tax on that facility. Well, that's a much smaller school district, and I would like to propose options that at least the surrounding counties also get some of the benefit. I know many Columbians who drive over to Callaway County every day and work in that facility. So they chose Columbia so we could educate their children, and that is an option for us also to look at ways to slice the pie differently.
All right, let's turn now to MU, which you've talked about a little bit already. But how would you better represent MU in Jeff City as a representative of District 25?
What I would hope to help the legislature understand is the national significance of this university. We are a major Research One university. There are not very many in this country. We are one of the 6 most comprehensive universities in the country. We are one of 36 AAU universities, and that's based on the excellence in research and the excellence in teaching. There's a difference between this university and many other state schools in this state. I want the legislature to start learning more about that and appreciating that connection to the economy of the state. And I'm very encouraged. We have a new president who I think will be the right messenger to the legislature. We have a winning football team, and that never hurts. So our time is now. If we can get 3 strong MU representatives representing Columbia, Missouri down there, I think we can do some good.